Does your game room need some love? Are you tired of writing amazingly awesome D&D sessions and then having to play them in a room with the atmosphere as lively as a doctor's office? Then you came to the right spot. I'm Tom the DM, and this is a new series of mine where I show you easy, cost-effective ways to trick out your game room, add atmosphere to your D&D sessions, and overall make for a more immersive experience at your table. And for episode 1, we are going to be talking about lights. Lights are one of the best ways to add atmosphere to your D&D sessions, and there are a lot of easy ways that we can incorporate them into your game room. We're about to go over some different types of lights and how we can use them, but first, we need to get the number one rule ingrained in our brains. The ceiling light shall never be turned on. Unless you've got a colored bulb in there, you should never be flipping the switch on that guy in your D&D sessions. Alright, so we've got that out of the way, let's get into it. Salt rock lamps won't have the power to light up your whole room, but that's not their purpose. These are more like little accessory lights that help get the vibe across with their warm glow. When you walk into a room and see one of these, they are basically telling you to relax. Now, you don't need to riddle your whole room with these lamps. Honestly, I wouldn't even say that these are vital to your lighting setup, but having one or two of these in your game room will help set the tone for a very comfortable, relaxing atmosphere. They cost about $20 to $30 a piece depending on where you get them, but they've been so popular for years now, you might already have one. I would consider string lights another accessory lighting piece, but unlike salt rock lamps, these actually do a wonderful job at lighting up your room. This is because, unlike most lamps, string lights are strung up from the ceiling or a door frame. They provide a source of light from a high point rather than a middle or low point. And the fact that they emit light from a bigger area instead of just one centered source gives you a lot of flexibility on how you can string them up. They come in different colors as well. I remember I was running a campaign in the Underdark, so I swapped out my regular warm string lights for purple ones. And anyone who celebrated a holiday knows that these things are dirt cheap. Just make sure you don't string up too many of them because they can get a little obnoxious, and make sure you are buying strands with a warm bulb and not those blinding LED versions. Speaking of LEDs, let's talk about them. Any gamer knows that LEDs are a great way to get vibrant colors splashed against a wall or glowing from under a table, and that is exactly what I recommend. If you have a gaming table that you consistently use, throw an LED strip under it and bask in the oohs and ahs of your party when you first turn it on. You can find these online for super cheap, and most options have a controller that changes the color. This is great for setting different moods on where your party is during your session. Are they trekking through a sprawling jungle? Awesome, we'll flip it to green. Are they traversing a dangerous magma-filled volcano? Now we got red. There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with these, but make sure you keep the actual lighting strip hidden because the brightness from the actual lights can be distracting or irritating. Alright, we're on to the main event. This is an absolute must when setting up lighting for your game room. With just a few lamps with colored bulbs, you can absolutely transform the atmosphere of your game room. Being able to swap the color of the main lighting source in your game room is such a powerful tool for you as a DM to immerse your players. Going back to what I was talking about with the LEDs, you have the ability to replicate colors of different situations that your party is in. And I know that not every single atmosphere is going to be as easy to replicate as an active volcano, but even being able to signify daytime in a township with orange lights versus nighttime with purple lights is going to help immerse your players in the story. There are so many options when it comes to actually buying colored bulbs. You can get them for super cheap, or you can get them for hundreds of dollars if you want the absolute top of the line stuff. My favorite ones that you can get on a budget are the Casa Smart Bulbs. 4 of them go for around $30 on Amazon, and I love them because they work with the Casa app on my phone, which means I can be behind my DM screen and change the color of the lights without my players seeing it or even anticipating it. So when I dim the lights during a tense situation, it's much more effective and it does not interrupt the flow of what's going on at the table. And just to disclaim, I am not sponsored by any of the lights in this video. I am giving you my genuine recommendations. Alright, so those are the 4 main light types that I think work best to upgrade your game room. But here's a couple bonus lighting accessories that you can use to go the extra mile. Candles, real or fake, but I usually use a combination of both. Personally, I try really hard to give my game room the vibe of a classic medieval fantasy tavern, and the best way to do that is with candles, lanterns, and sconces. These little battery-powered candles aren't helping light up the room, but they are adding to the atmosphere. And if you really want to be extra, you can always buy a little projector for galaxy or wave effects. I usually turn this guy on whenever my party is sailing across the ocean, or if there's a blizzard, I'll switch it to white. My players absolutely love this thing, and it only cost me like $20. Now, looking back on all these lights, if you're starting with none of them, the expenses can add up. But things like this don't happen overnight. I've been playing D&D for years, and I'm still upgrading my game room. Start with whatever's in your budget and go from there. Even just one of the examples I mentioned in this video can really help change the atmosphere. And if there's a piece of lighting that you use that I didn't mention in this video, please let me know in the comments because, like I said, I'm still looking for ways to upgrade my game room too. If you found value in this video, subscribe to my channel so you never miss a new release, and consider joining my Patreon to get custom D&D content from me every single month. I hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.